What's up, everybody? This is episode 5 of our T.O.P. promo. Today, we are talking about blood and wrestling. This is a touchy subject. It's interesting because WWE doesn't allow blood anymore.
That's a fact.
Even the most simplest shit ever, didn't Bailey, get a little blood out of her nose, or...
Yeah, they cleaned it up right away, so it wouldn't
they
be on
went
TV.
like this. They exit out, you know?
Hey, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's jump into this because we want to talk about our most memorable blood spots in wrestling.
Oh, God.
Let me start off with Bobby Roode throwing Samoa Joe into steel steps. And I'm talking about a faucet of blood. I'm not talking about maybe it's pouring down his face, or we've seen those things before. I'm talking about a faucet of blood. I distinctly remember Samoa Joe getting up, looking around because he couldn't see anything because of the blood, and there was a giant, probably 2 centimeter gash in his head, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, this guy is gonna die. I don't understand. And then he ran after Bobby Roode and cut the best promo I've ever seen after that. That was my most memorable blood spot ever in wrestling. Tommy, what about you?
See, I've had a lot of memorable blood spots, but for me, anything with Ric Flair getting blood is my most memorable.
Can you be more specific with this? I know you said anything with Ric Flair, but
I remember when he got
what is it about
Edge? There
is so many to count.
I don't want a moment. I just want to know what makes it Ric Flair's blood spot so memorable to you.
I can't even remember.
Is it because that? I remember my wife always thought because Ric Flair's old, she's scared to see him bleed. She's like, this guy's gonna die today.
That's probably
and for me, it's the red hair, man. As soon as you see that platinum hair go red, you know this fool's bleeding to death.
Because I remember watching him and you see him bleeding, there's blood going through his platinum blonde.
It doesn't go down the front. It's all
you don't even remember what it is. You're like
hair gel.
Oh fuck! When this happened, you know what I'm saying? I don't recognize when it happened. I can't remember a pay-per-view or a date.
What was that? What was that one pay-per-view in WCW where Hogan slammed the cage door on Flair's head?
Wasn't that? I thought that was Scott Steiner that did that.
I don't know, but I thought that was a big angle for Ric Flair.
It was like a Survivor Series.
I thought it was a cage match, like a Monday Nitro cage match.
It was Scott Steiner that slammed on Ric Flair.
I remember that, but I remember what Mean Dean's talking about as well. Towards the end of the original NWO era where they had the fucking Hogan Flair fucking title match.
It was something like that. What about Flair and Vince McMahon at WrestleMania?
Bloody as shit.
Yeah.
Both for me, a little too bloody, man. My thing about Ric Flair is the man takes the best blood spots in the game, but at the same time, this is the same guy who could get nicked in the same blood spot, but it end up just as bad as a championship match. I need a difference. If you're in a regular match, I need it simplified blood. Maybe you got a little squirt there, a little spurt there. Whatever.
First of all, if we're going to talk about squirts, this is called the T.O.P. period.
Well, Kelly's the best at that.
Oh my God.
Am I right?
Are you right? Do you know?
I'm trying to find out. Kelly, you hear this? I'm trying to find out, girl. Does it squirt in or out?
Ew. Why would it be in?
You never know with these girls.
Why would it be in?
Jesus, dude. This is a fucking Friday night. We're not going to church.
Hey, what is this now? Are we PC era? Are we kid friendly? I'm trying to be attitude era, and this is for adults.
Yeah.
Real fan. I still don't name one kid that's 9 years old that's a true fan.
I still don't understand the science of it squirting in, but I get you. I feel you.
Hey, man, sometimes it goes in, sometimes it goes out. You never know.
I don't know.
It's always gone in on my era.
Oh, my God.
With that being said, let me roll you into the greatest blood spot of all time, which is, with there being WrestleMania season, let me take you back. Let me build the scenery. Bret Hart has the ultimate sharpshooter on Stone Cold. Stone Cold bleeds so much blood profusely that the ref stops the match. Do we ever hear Stone Cold say the words, "I quit"?
WrestleMania 13.
Yeah, Ken Shamrock was a ref.
But what do we see? We see Stone Cold pass out from blood loss.
He's going like this.
Fellas, let me put it to you this way. If we'd have never had that moment in blood spot history, where would the sport be today? Did Stone Cold not solidify himself as a badass that night?
That's what really.
Or did Bret Hart solidify himself as a badass?
Yeah. Well, Tommy Guns, you bring up an interesting fact. I know Mean Dean's really on my side with this. We see Stone Cold as the badass that he was. He passed out from the blood loss, never gave up, and that took him to a whole new dimension. But, Tommy Guns, you bring up an interesting fact that I've talked to many people about in the past. Explain it in a little more detail for me, please. So we think Stone Cold's the badass, but you bring up the opposite side, that maybe Bret Hart was the badass for never letting up on the move. Please, explain that in detail.
He never let up. Like, when you got someone down there screaming and crying, saying, I give up. And you don't let up on your move. Does that make you badass for not letting up?
Yeah, but Stone Cold wasn't screaming and crying. He didn't even tap out. He passed out.
Well, he passed out because he couldn't scream. Like, you gotta get put to that point where you don't pass out just because you passed out. Have you ever passed out because you're tired?
So
I do that tonight. Yeah,
that is deep. That is really deep. For the past 15 plus years, I've always looked at it as that Stone Cold, in my eyes, was the persona of the night. I mean, he made the WrestleMania what it was. By never giving up. But you bring the opposite side of me, and that's very interesting because Bret Hart will always be number one in my heart. Stone Cold will always be 1B. Yes, he's slightly behind Bret Hart, but that's how it's got to roll. But it's funny because you bring up the fact that Bret Hart never let up on the move. And at that same time, that's when Bret Hart began to become heel.
Exactly.
Which would play into the heel persona of not giving up when the ref tells you to. Wow, that's interesting, man. I mean, after all these years, you really have me contemplating on a new theory on this. Like, Stone Cold, yes, he'll always remain at 1B for me. But really, was he the badass of the night? Or was... And it's funny because behind the scenes... Mean Dean! You look fired up over there after this little side conversation that me and Tommy Guns had. Won't you deliver into this, man?
I'm telling you.
Bring the heat.
I'm telling you that Stone Cold... Okay, Bret Hart has put the sharpshooter on 100 fucking people, and Stone Cold is the fucking guy of the night. Not Bret Hart. Bret Hart cinched it in the way he has always cinched it in.
But Stone Cold passed out from it.
That's my point, is he did that. Stone Cold passed out on that. That's the whole point, was for Bret to make Stone Cold look good. But that wouldn't have happened if Stone Cold didn't scream.
It takes 2 points. Like, Stone Cold kept going to the point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right. I mean, I agree with you. It took Bret and Stone Cold, but if Stone Cold didn't get up with the blood pouring through his teeth, it wouldn't have ever fucking happened.
I still don't. I just don't.
Stone Cold played the ultimate heel in that match, which eventually became the ultimate heel for Bret.
Yeah, you just don't get it. Stone Cold was playing the ultimate guy that would not give up. He was in the sharpshooter, and he would not quit. He never said, "I quit."
That's what I'm saying. He didn't.
Man, I think both you guys are just coming to the ultimate realization of, on my point, listen to the Inside Factor, man, it's definitely Stone Cold. But you know what? If it wasn't for Bret Hart never letting go of the move, where would really Stone Cold be today? Yeah. And on that fact, guys, let me bring this all to a wrap. Thank you for listening to another T.O.P. episode with the main man, Mr. Mean Dean, on the microphone, Mr. Tommy Guns, blowing him off, and then Mr. JG. So for all three of us, we're just saying a good night. We'll see ya, and a lot more after Fastlane.
Peace, bitches.
Wait.